So many people that I talk with want to know how to. And if you take away from this weekend, this back to basics theme, that you already know how to. You don't need a guide, really. You have the guide inside. You know what to do and how to do it. It's just a matter of really trusting that, opening up to that, trusting the feeling, even trusting the feeling of not knowing that that's leaving you space for knowing to come in.
Really true. It's like there's nobody on this call any wiser than anybody else. It's only a matter of how quiet we can be to really listen to what we have inside and trust it. It really can guide us no matter what's going on in our lives. And I think one thing I'd like to visit on the weekend too is Sid had an interesting knack when he talked to you. Like, I would always want to tell him kind of what I was going through and, looking for a fix of this or a fix of that or a change in this and a change in that. And he would just ignore me. he wouldn't, I can, all the years that we knew him, I can only remember him talking about the specifics of my life, maybe 3 times in 40 some years for a few minutes, because he knew that if you just listened and got quiet, you would see clearly, like that everyone can learn to see. They can see, they just don't know it, And when you see, you act out of your seeing rather than your thinking. And that changes the way you live this life, You get to go on what I call the magic carpet ride. You just sit down and relax and the world comes to you, It's the most amazing way to live. I'll always be eternally grateful for that, for being shown that, in the now, you see everything you need to see. In the now, you end up being very clear on what you want and what you need to do in your life. And the judgment drops away and the negative feelings with judgment drop away. And you get to live this beautiful, peaceful life. It's not perfect, but man, there's no life like it.
It always comes back to the feeling. I talked with Chip yesterday for just a few minutes, our preparation for today. And all I had was a feeling. I didn't have a clue what I might offer this weekend. But the feeling was a very deep emotional feeling that really moved me. And I knew that was the preparation. And if that's the only thing you take away this weekend, again, know that you're having, via that feeling, a soul-to-soul conversation with yourself. I love that. Like, honestly, it's incredible to have soul-to-soul conversations with all of you, with humanity. But having a soul-to-soul conversation with yourself is the true gift.
So we're in for a lovely weekend, and we'll be playing some recordings of Sid's. We'll play one in a few minutes, and there's something about being home in the house here for the last year and a half. It's just made it a little quieter. And I know Elsie's the same, and Jan and I, we've come to appreciate even more how beautiful it is to really listen. Not to me or Elsie, but just to listen, Like when I listen to Sid's recordings now, I feel like he's in the room, because the spirit that he put into those recordings, the feeling that he put into those recordings, it's there. It's the same as if you want to go back 30 years, it's there. And when you listen to it, It's a guide to go to that feeling. Right? And listening is such a blessing because it's just simple math. You can't listen that deeply and think at the same time. They're mutually exclusive activities. And those recordings and those books give us that opportunity to listen at that level and to get that quiet, that we get a peek at our true self, our true nature.